right, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm afternoon to you. It's indeed Wednesday, the 8th of April 2026. And we're back again looking for opportunities in the capital markets as always. Thank you very much for joining from wherever you are. I am your wealth creation enthusiast with a passion for helping individuals and corporate organizations build their personal and corporate net worth via investing in the stock market. Welcome back from your Easter holidays. I hope you had fun, you had a good rest, and it's been a long holiday, only about 2 days missed out on trading sessions, and it's almost looking like a whole month was spent. Thank you very much. That's how powerful our sessions are and how impactful it's been all along. Appreciate you for joining from wherever you are. We are live on all platforms, and this is Net Worth Investors Club, a group of Nigerians in Nigeria and in the diaspora. Over 7,000 members right now of the Net Worth Investors Club group on Discord community. We are here looking for opportunities across the markets, especially the Nigerian and US markets, so that we can continue to empower ourselves, because indeed no one is coming to save you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. I'm excited to be here again, and as usual, we will be broadcasting live this global live stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and that's why we're here today, Wednesday, the 8th of April. It's a brand new month, don't forget, and we're seeing a whole lot happening as far as dividend payments and announcements are concerned. The rivalry between GTCO and Zenith playing out, and of course, we are back again to see what's going on in the market for as many of us who are ready to invest. Kehinde Akinawo, Raman Adenuga, Victoria Asi, Chionwon, Love, Fobara, thank you very much for joining. Amir Jayo Sylvester, appreciate you. Inseodo Ndobisi, appreciate you. Mabel Odigie, thank you very much for joining on YouTube. I'll come back to your questions there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 1 hour between now and 1 p.m. when we'll be taking your comments on all platforms. So do well to repeatedly paste your comments or questions on the comments, because it keeps scrolling automatically on all screens. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, TikTok. So let's go there. But let's be informed also, the stock market is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is usually good at rewarding us quicker than we expect, and we will take that, but we are not too expectant, not to be reasonable in our expectations, okay? So if you are coming into the stock market, coming with patient funds, because that is where you eventually make the most of your retirement and what have you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We will proceed now. As I inform us, the moderators remains Maobi, Rehoboth, Dr. Birich, Seaway, Mr. Luke. They will be helping me to respond to some of your questions that I may not be able to meet up with on the comments section, just to help us to maximize our output today. Okay, so we will be proceeding now to taking your comments until 1 p.m. when we shall be taking calls via TikTok. All right, happy new week, happy new month, happy everything. Thank you very much, everyone, from wherever you are reaching us. We are warming up and getting set for dividend payments, and I hope that you are all set, well invested. This is the advantage of staying invested, because you don't get to miss out when dividends are paid. So over to the review of activities as it panned out last week in the course of the trading sessions. We had just about 3 trading sessions last week, or was it? Yes, 4 trading sessions. The Nigerian exchange topped 130 trillion naira in market cap on Tuesday as investors gained 208 billion naira. Performance was boosted by fresh bargain hunting in financial stocks, with First Holdco gaining about 10% and GTCO rising 2%. The market uptrend was supported by buying interest in Trans Nationwide Express, Omatech Ventures, Cadbury, First Holdco, Fortis Global Insurance, and 19 other stocks. Trading data showed that market capitalization rose by 0.16%, increasing from 129.8 trillion naira at the opening to 130 trillion naira at the close, representing a gain of 208 billion naira. Similarly, the all-share index advanced by 324.21 points or 0.16% to close at 202,023 points compared with 201,698 points recorded at the previous session. Consequently, the year-to-date return rose to 29.82%. However, market breadth closed negative with 37 losers against 24 gainers. Okay? All right. LLAs led the losers chart with 10% decline, closing at 10 naira 80 kobo per share. Darcoms followed with a loss of 9.95% to close at 1 naira 72 kobo, while Charms shed 9.87% to end at 3 naira 38 kobo per share. John Ho dropped by 9.71% to close at 13.95, while Sunu Assurance declined by 9.68% to 4 naira 20 kobo per share. And on the gainers chart, we have Trans Nationwide Express appreciating by 9.86% to close at 3 naira 12 kobo. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we proceed right away with taking your comments on all platforms. Remember, you will go ahead and keep repeating your comments until I'm able to see it. Thank you very much, everyone, especially my YouTube family, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and of course, X family. Hi, Coach. Is there any hope for Jais and Dang Sugar? It keeps dipping. Well, cute feet. I'd like to inform everyone the stock market does not rise forever, repeatedly, non-stop. So if you came in when it was rallying, it's not the nature of the market to continue to rally all year round. It will rally and slow down, even dip, rest, be sluggish for a while before something else propels price actions again. You are not building a fantasy wealth. You are building real wealth, and real wealth takes time to be built. So when you are buying a stock, make sure you are projecting into the future and not just what daily price movements are. So if you see Jais dropping, that's because there are many people who will never be at a loss anymore for buying Jais earlier this year at around 4 or 5 naira per share. So if it's dropping from 15 naira to 9 or 10 naira, then it means you came in when the stock price was rallying seriously, and there has to be a pullback. Every stock will be pulled back to come back to reality, and the reality is your financial strength in terms of your performance. So please do not expect that every day the stock prices will rise. That's not how it works. It's a cycle. January, February is the rally months, particularly before earnings and results of dividends and all that information is shared. That's why they rally, but they don't rally all the time. So take very good note of that. Why did MTN drop for a while? Zia, exactly what I explained just now. That's why stock prices drop. Stock prices drop because profit takers must take profit. Not everyone in the stock market is here to invest long term. Not everyone is here to take dividends. So for those who are trading short term, they will sell down. And I said all of this even before the year started, that January and February stocks will rally. After February, as we get into March, it will start declining and then begin to find a way to stabilize around April, May, where it will further be affected by markdown of stock prices because of dividends that will be paid out. Okay? How do I change my stockbroker? Johnny, very simple. When you find your new stockbroker, proceed to open a new account, and that's it. And then if you feel like you want to transfer your stocks from the previous broker to the current one, then you make a request with the current one to process your stock transfer. Hi, Coach. Is there any hope for... Okay, I've responded to this on Instagram. My Bamboo app keeps failing to buy stocks. Please, why is it like that? I have no idea Anyone on Instagram who uses Bamboo, please confirm if your app is working. Let's know if it has to do with your own app or it is app-wide or global, as the case may be. If every other person can use their Bamboo, then it means you will need to update your app, perhaps, or delete, uninstall, delete, and maybe reinstall and see if it works. Does it mean after dividends an investor can pull out? Where are you pulling out to? In theory, if you follow it that way, it becomes more like a chess game. You wait, you collect dividend, you pull out. But it doesn't work like that in practical, because between when you bought and when they pay the dividend, you must have made much more capital gains. And if your mindset was to go all the way, you don't bother about what the stock price does post dividend, because they will still recover and even shoot forward, especially if you invest in stocks that are actually long-term, with long-term prospects of doing very, very well. So there will be no need selling your stock if you will still have to come back into it. For you bought for the long term, they paid dividend, prices were marked down because of that. Doesn't mean you should sell your stock, because you'll be now selling less than the price before the dividend. And that's why in the stock market, you can't build a castle on sand or in thin air. If they are going to pay you dividend, they will mark it down from the stock price. So they are not building artificial wealth that will disappear. That's why they mark down. For example, if a company does bonus, they will mark down the stock price and make it commensurate with the new shares coming in, so that they didn't just manufacture stocks for you from nowhere. There's an existing price. So if they are diluting the stock by providing more, producing more shares by way of bonus or what have you, they will now mark down the price because it wasn't paid for, and so that you don't build artificial wealth, like I said. Henry says, Coach, would you advise taking a position in GTCO at the moment? For me, it looks like it's late to get into GTCO at this point. Best long-term approach I would advise for any newcomer is to wait for markdown, post markdown, because now whatever the price is of GTCO, you know they are going to be paying an 11 naira plus. So they will remove the 11 naira from the current price on markdown day. So wherever it drops to, you now buy. Usually two things happen. It's either after the markdown, it drops further down because the market is not informed. Some people will just panic sell, thinking, oh, GT is crashing, what's happening? Before I find out what's going on, let me first sell so it doesn't crash further. And then those who understand markdown in trading will now take advantage, buy the dip, and shortly after the markdown, the price begins to come up. But for weaker stocks, post markdown, it still dips further. So you need to know how to play your game, and that's why you need a platform that you can really monitor real time. And that's why we're here. For those who don't use platforms that give them real-time data, we can now check to tell you per time in the course of this live stream what is selling at what price, so you can be able to maximize opportunities when they arise. Hello, Coach. What do you think about AfriPrud, INE, African Prudential? Will build on from here after the 1-for-1 bonus. Remember, they did a 1-for-1 bonus that really diluted their shares as well, and so made it difficult for them to enjoy any kind of capital gains. But you know, with time, they get over that and begin to do very well in terms of price action. So time will tell as far as this one is concerned. Okay. All right, let's keep the comments coming in. I'm enjoying every bit of it. Okay, please, can you analyze Transcorp PLC? I've held it for a while. They did 4-for-1 and the price reduced. Oluwaseyi, it wasn't 4-for-1 actually. It was share reconstruction, reducing the number of shares in circulation or shares outstanding so that the per share metrics can improve. After that, Transcorp's earnings per share is now looking better. 6 naira per share right now, unlike what they used to experience before when they had an over-bloated 40 billion shares. Now, after the post-reconstruction, it's now at 10 billion shares. And that's why if you had 1 million Transcorp before the reconstruction, the Transcorp is now reduced to 250,000. I actually experienced that. I told you I buy my shares in 1 millions. So I used to have 1 million Transcorp shares before the reconstruction. And by the time they reconstructed it, my 1 million shares reduced to 250,000 shares. But you know what? Just like I said, they don't build houses on thin air. You don't build a castle on sand. All right. So while they are reducing the number of shares, they also increase the price of the stock in the same ratio. I'm sure that's why he said 1 for 4. So Transcorp moved from the 11 naira it was to 44 naira. So since then, it's been 2 years and running. Transcorp has not really moved. From that 44, it will get to 50 and then come back to 48 and then 46. Just be dilly-dallying there. But value has been created over time. So time will tell whatever it is. So the price is down 40% now. I don't know what you mean by price being down 40%. I have 20 million there. Oluwaseyi, I'm not understanding what you mean by 40% down. Coach, please, when is the QDT and payment date for UPDC REIT? Okay, let me check. UPDC REIT. I'm going on the NGX website now to confirm that corporate action. I wasn't really paying attention to what's going on with corporate actions at the moment because of so many other things I was involved in. I have a breaking news for everyone listening to us and who has been a part of this. Just give me some time. I will share that breaking news in the course of this live stream. All right. I don't think I've seen any results regarding UPDC REIT though. Okay, Lovett says, morning coach, do you think this is the best time to buy WAPCO and what enterprise? It seems bidders are more than offers. Okay, let's see what the bid and offer status is for WAPCO this very minute, 19 minutes past 12 p.m. Nigerian time. Going over to the premium board to see exactly what's going on with WAPCO. So WAPCO is down to 211 naira 90 kobo from 215 it sold, and the bids are quite much, 6.4 million bids versus 1.2 million offers. So I think looks good, and you can indeed buy at that 211 naira 90 kobo right now, but there are 54,000 bids at that price. But you never know. Going deep into April and then into May, we may see it deep further unless more interest builds up, especially when first quarter results are out later on this month. But as it stands now, not a bad choice to buy at 211.90, or maybe you want to be 210. In any case, post markdown, they will be taking out the dividend from the stock price. So take note of that as well, just in case. Okay. We go on to YouTube to take more comments. Good morning, coach. We've missed you. Victoria Asi, I have missed you all too. Chiono1 says, morning, coach. Thank you for all you do. Thank you very much. Joy Balaso says, good day, coach, and happy to have you back. Okay, your comment has scrolled away with speed. Daniel Peter says, coach, can I take dividend from GTCO and sell immediately before markdown when the share price is still high to enter back during the post-markdown dip? Interesting stuff. This is the reason why there is something called markdown and qualification date. Okay? The Maradonic move doesn't work in the stock market like that. You want to take the dividend, you want to still sell at that same high price, doesn't work that way. And it's very good that we're here so we can get to understand exactly how the market works and use it appropriately. Okay? So, first things first. Qualification date. If you have the stock before that qualification date, you qualify to take the dividend. Then, after you qualify, you must own the stock, because post-qualification means markdown. And markdown means they remove the dividend price from the stock, and then it goes down. So you can't sell at that high and still collect the dividend, unless you stay on and wait long enough post markdown, having taken the dividend, the price dipped and resurrects back. Then you can decide that you want to sell. But again, this is why we have 70% of our portfolios, of our stocks in our portfolio, planned for long term. So you don't try to play hide and seek with these stocks, because sometimes it can backfire, whatever move you're trying to make. The fact is, you can't sell, get the dividend and still sell high almost immediately. Not possible. The price will be marked down, then it will take its own time, and that's outside anybody's control. Like I said, sometimes some of these stocks, immediately after markdown, boom, it climbs back up. Some dips further, takes time, dilly-dally under the post-markdown price until afterwards begins to pick up. Coach, please, thoughts on Vitafoam and PZ? Are they both with potentials for capital appreciation for long-term? Ramata, okay, Ramat Adenuga, absolutely correct. The reason why they continue to feature in my list is there is still fantastic long-term value in those two. Coach, is it a good time to buy Aradel and Okomu or Yemi? Actually, you can't go wrong with those two companies as far as the Nigerian exchange is concerned. Okay? Okomu Oil and Aradel. Something funny is happening with Aradel. No one is looking at it. 1,205. The value continues to build, but the price remains neglected. Why? Because all of that war that has gone on in Iran has added to the revenue of Aradel. So many people are unaware. Well, you will find out when the results are out. Coach, please, is Charms a good stock to hold? Snoop Cap. Charms is a 1 million challenge stock. And if it has not done 3 years in your hand, then the purpose for buying the Charms is defeated. Buy your Charms, hold it 3-5 years. That's what we're looking at. And anything can happen in the first 3 years. Nothing is going on, and then inside 1 year. I've shared with us how NACO suffered that for several years. Up to 3 years, NACO was selling under 2 naira. Nobody looked at it. The moment it decided to jump from last year, I mean, from 2023, it never looked back. The same thing with TIP. TIP was under 2 naira for up to 3 years. In the last 3 years, TIP was under 2 naira before last year, when it jacked inside January and then never turned back. So these things happen. And if you understand this cycle, you can use it to your advantage. When others are worried about a stock, you are building alongside. In any case, Charms is currently at 3.49 naira, up from the 3.38 naira it closed on Friday. No, on Thursday. And of course, 10.4 million bids versus 3.8 million offers. You will be here, Charms will be trading under 4 naira, and then within a twinkle of an eye, boom, it's above 4 naira. And then you start wondering, oh, why didn't I buy Charms when it was 3 naira 38 kobo? Because you are afraid, always afraid. If you've done your research and made your decision about buying a stock, see every dip as an opportunity. Nobody's coming to do it for you. It will never be all clear. You just buy it, it starts going up. No, a lot of times you buy dips, it stays dipped for as long as it likes, because you are not in control of that stock. Please, when is the qualification date for Zenith Bank? I had that shared. But let's see if I can retrieve it. Okay, looks like I can. Right away, in front of me, qualification date for Zenith is 24th of this month. So you still have about almost 2 weeks. You still have about, is it 2 weeks? Almost 2 weeks. 24th of April is the qualification date. So for anyone who buys on or before 24th, you qualify for Zenith Bank's dividend. And of course, payment date is 5th of May 2026. Okay. All right. Keep the comments coming in, ladies and gents. I won't get tired of talking. Evil Trophy says, is there a way to set auto investment buying more shares with my dividends? There's no way. Your dividend comes automatically into your bank account. Then you redeploy into buying more stocks. George David says, morning, coach. I'm a newbie and I have 1 million to invest in either TIP or NGX Group. What's your advice? NGX Group because of the dividend and bonus. Kindly advise, sir. If you are interested in dividend and bonus by NGX Group, then go for it headlong. You have nothing to lose. Actually, NGX Group will continue to grow into the future. Currently 177, so it's not as though you are buying at a high now. You can come back for tip later because NGX Group actually touched 188 before retrieving or dipping to 160 something. Now it's 177 naira 90 kobo currently. Hello, coach. Would you advise purchasing Presco at the moment? If yes, how much would you recommend as entry price? Usually, when no one else is interested, is when to buy stocks like Presco. It doesn't take time before it eventually starts running again. Currently, 1,900. It's not even that low. Okay, there was a time when it was heavily rejected. And up till now, though, the bids are not much compared to the offers. There are about 80,000 bids right now versus 257,000 offers. So there's a chance that you can even buy it under 1.9, maybe 1,850 or thereabouts. Very possible. Talking about Presco. When is Champion Breweries shares allotment? No idea, sir. Please, coach, when is... Oh, I missed that one now. Why is Airtel share still higher than that of MTN? Just want to understand the dynamics. Zia, good question. First of all, Airtel has fewer shares than MTN. That's the basic reason why. While MTN came into the stock market and offered so many shares outstanding, now they have to deal with that. I'll give you the update just a moment. What we are saying is that Airtel's shares outstanding is lower, so they have a better per share metrics. That is why they are earning about 211 naira per share. Airtel's earnings is 211 naira per share, whereas MTN is 53 naira per share. So you can see why. Hi, coach. I have 200,000 each units of UBA and Transcorp. Do I sell? It's too stagnant. The danger of always trying to sell what is not moving is that you end up landing in the one that has moved and is now about to dip, while the one you left is just about taking off. And that typifies a situation where it looks like your village people is after you. So you don't want to try that. You bought UBA for long term, stay there. Tony Elumelu is not selling his stock because it is stagnant or pulling back. And they are the ones who bought at 15 naira per share. So if Tony Elumelu will not sell his UBA stocks, you shouldn't bother about selling yours. Behave like the owner. There was a time UBA was selling for 7 naira per share. Imagine if he had panicked and sold. Now it is at 45. If you panic and sell and by next year you see it at 60, you know you have yourself to blame and you don't want to find yourself in that situation. So we all face these things. There are stocks in my portfolio that won't move and I'll just be looking at it. And there will come a time I'll be tempted to sell this guy and move on to the other which has prospects. If you are selling to buy a new prospect, good. But if you are looking for who is always moving, you end up losing all your money in the stock market. Patience is required. And at times, for those who are not able to cope with situations like this, train yourself to do so. First step to do that is stop looking at the stock price every day. Stop looking at your portfolio too often. Just listen to what's going on and then get used to seeing it deep. That way, you will now enjoy when it gets out and you will know how to manage your emotions better than so many others. Coach, is UPDC REIT a good stock to hold for long term? I consider it a very good stock and I'm holding on for long term myself. Okay. All right, ladies and gents, keep the comments coming in. I'm enjoying every bit of it. Don't stop. Please, can you talk about USCN, the cornerstone? I've spoken a lot about USCN to the extent I don't talk no more. That's because USCN is going to just gradually build up. Those who understand the business and the current status of the business in terms of expansion will know that at current valuation, anything under 100 Naira is still okay for USCN. Okay, I'm going to check now to see how much USCN is selling for this very minute. So USCN is at 100 Naira 5 kobo, up from 99 Naira it sold last time. This stock will gradually climb to 150 Naira over time. Just needs more time. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, keep the comments coming in. Coach, please, why did Zenith Bank not match GTCO this year? It's a bel air. I'll give you a few details. Excuse me. First off, the competition between Zenith and GTCO. If you don't pay close attention, you will miss out on a lot of information and misjudge the circumstance. Everybody is going on celebrating GTCO. I'm very happy with GTCO. GTCO has been very, very efficient. So GTCO actually paid more, and everybody has been celebrating that. But you know what? Zenith actually made more money than GTCO. Now, Zenith also earns more than GTCO. Yes, the earnings per share, Zenith does more than GTCO. Over the weekend, I was saying Zenith and GTCO the same earnings per share. They are not. Zenith made 1 trillion Naira net income. GT made 800 and something billion net income. So GT's income dropped. There was a dip in GT's income. Nobody's looking at that because they paid very well. Okay? Why did they pay that much? And GTCO and Zenith decides not to. That's because Zenith has more than 5 billion shares above what GTCO has. So Zenith's shares are standing is about 30 something and 40 something billion, 41 billion or so, right? GTCO's shares are standing is about 36 billion. So by the time Zenith distributes their profit, you'll see that even if their earnings per share is more than GTCO, they've decided to pay less. But total payout, Zenith has done more. Because total dividend paid out, because they have 5 billion more shares than GTCO has, they're going to be paying much more. So Zenith actually paid out much more than GT did. And it's more like 100% double what they did before last year. But that's, by the way, all eyes are on how much did you pay, how much did you pay. On that note, GTCO wins. But coming down to the crux of the matter, Zenith made more money than GTCO. Zenith, their earnings per share is more than GTCO. And now, because they've paid less than GTCO, Zenith has more retained earnings than GTCO. So shareholders' equity for Zenith is going to be grow more by this action than GTCO's. So You can't eat your cake and have it. While Zenith is trying to now be more robust in terms of their retained earnings, thereby increasing the shareholder equity, GTCO has decided to pay more and damn the consequences of whatever it is. So they will re-engineer or find a way and use their efficiency technique to even do better next year, talking about GTCO. For your information also, Zenith just made a foray into the banking space in Kenya for the first time. Don't forget GTCO is in Kenya, Access Bank is in Kenya, where are the others? UBA is in Kenya as well. So Zenith has gone on to acquire a bank in Kenya and is going to be operational there live. So everyone is playing according to their strategy. Okay? Next year, they will also join and find a way to get listed on the London Stock Exchange, talking about Zenith. So everybody seems to be minding their business, but also with an eye on the competition. Okay? So they have decided, look, we won't play to the gallery, let's settle down and do what's best for us in the long term. And that's what Zenith has decided to do. So that's why. This is my opinion and not investment advice. Please be informed. Okay, coach, 15 million naira, one stock between Aradel and WAPCO for 5 years. Who is Zeke is asking. I naturally will just go straight into Aradel and sit down there. The kind of value creation they are making is nothing, is out of this world. Straight to Aradel. Good afternoon, coach. Sir, I'm Colette. Good afternoon to you. I missed out on Vitafoam 1 to 5 rights issue and also didn't get my dividend. Please advise way to go. J Ace, is it rights issue? Vitafoam did bonus. If you notice, every time I suspect a bonus, looks like it happens. And so I said Vitafoam may give a bonus. Boom, they did. NACO, I suspect, will give a bonus, even when some people were selling off. At some point, there was the sell-off of NACO shares. But boom, bonus given. There is one stock I'm suspecting should be giving bonus maybe next year. Because the number of shares are too small. Bro, it's time to do something. Okay, I'll keep that to my chest. I know some people are itching now to hear, coach, what stock is that? Don't go and buy it and then tomorrow they don't give you bonus and say, coach, you said they'll give bonus. I didn't say so. I said, every time I suspect a stock will give bonus, they do. So please, go ahead, JAs, go ahead, contact your stockbroker for a start. Let them guide accordingly. Otherwise, it's supposed to be straight to the registrars. Oh, Mr. Malby is here with emphasis on suspect. A bonus. We love you, coach. Thank you very much, Malby. I love you too. Rehoboth laughs. Say chai. Coach, please say it. Grocery. Everybody's ear is now itchy. You want to hear bonus? Okay, coach. Please, what do you think about Fitzin? Is it a good time to buy? Amara Lorette. I actually am not comfortable with that Fitzin price at 100 naira. I would rather wait. Stocks will dip, then I jump in. For now, Fitzin shouldn't be, I can't buy Fitzin at 100 naira yet. Okay, so let's see. All right, that's Fitzin there. Having closed 100 naira last week, it's now down to 90 naira on full offer. Who is asking about Fitzin? Don't rush yet. Just as I suspected. As we speak now, nobody is buying Fitzin in the market, though they have spent 41 million buying 450,000 shares at the moment. Currently, Fitzin, 0 bid, 985,000 offers. Price collapses 1 and 10% maximum from 100 naira to 90 naira. So stay calm, stay patient. If amongst these 450,000 shares, there was 100,000 shares sold at once, then be rest assured tomorrow, Fitzin will be opening the market at 90 naira per share. Okay, Kemi says, mention name. Is this a good time to buy GTCO or should I wait till dividend is paid with the hopes that the price will dip then? Also, where is the qualification date for GTCO dividends? Okay, GTCO, I feel the best thing to do is to wait for it to dip and buy. Or you can still go ahead and chase 11 naira, but by the time the it's just a matter of you are just behind time. That's the only thing I can say here. You would have been able to buy at 100 naira, 110, but now 120 something just to get 11 naira. We don't know. Okay? Because there are people, now get this, there are people who bought GTCO at 90, they've made 30 naira on top of their buying price because around 120 something. Okay? After markdown, they can still sell. They've taken the bonus, they've taken the profit. There are people like that. For those who didn't buy to stay long term, okay? But not for someone who just came in to buy and then take the bonus, the dividend, and then sell at a high. You can't sell at a high. You will have to stay there and wait. Maybe first quarter results will be published that will now push the stock price up just after markdown. But usually, for stocks like GTCO, if it sheds up to 15 naira, for example, remember, never mind the dividend is 11, they shed it, remove 11 naira, then maybe it drops 1, 2 naira more. After 11 naira deduction, people will rush in and buy. This is a 120 something naira stock. I'm seeing it at 110, 109. Why not? Right? Okay, then of course, because of the lack of activity in the market, they might just not bother and leave it to drop before maybe first quarter result comes out. And usually the new results are always better than the old. All right. Now, Sherry Konko says, I bought at 58. You see? Sherry Konko bought at 58. J Ace bought at 44. Will such people bother about price dropping? Never. GT has established itself as 100 naira and above stock. So it can't easily fall below 100 naira unless there's a major market crash. So all of these people, they're in perpetual profit no matter what. And then they just sit down there and this is the deception in using dividend yield to check what you want to buy. You can't come today and expect to benefit from a handsome dividend yield versus those who bought since. Okay, J is bought at 44. His dividend yield is fantastic, but do you know what? As at the time he was buying, the dividend yield may not have been so wonderful because the last dividend was not up to 11 naira. They paid around 7 naira the last time, final dividend or so. But knowing it's a good company, you buy and stay there and don't bother your head about dividend yield and no dividend yield yet, because you are buying into the future, and that's how dividend will grow. Right? For example, over the holidays, I did my research on a stock like NACO's dividend yield. We had a discussion on the group regarding dividend yield, and I went back and checked and saw. I was still cautioning in that discussion, stop bothering your head about dividend yield when you are just coming to buy today. You are now checking dividend yield. You can check it for checking sake, but the truth is, the one who bought 3 years ago you can't come and enjoy the same dividend yield with them, because between that time they bought and now, stock price has increased to where it is now. You are just coming, so you start your dividend yield journey now and pray that the dividend continues to grow. As at 3 years ago, GTCO wasn't paying double digits. They will pay 1 naira interim and pay 3 naira final. They'll pay 1 naira interim, pay 4 naira final. But a lot of things have changed now. So dividend yield will only reward you when you stay long enough. Like I said, anybody who bought NACO 1 naira 80 kobo, dividend yield now based on the 6 naira plus NACO declared is over 300%. Have you heard that before? You can't hear that if you don't stay long in a stock, period. So people will come and be buying NACO 180 naira and be looking for dividend yield of 10%, and you're just buying now. No, it doesn't work that way. By this time last year, I was analyzing NACO's full year 2024 result. It was at 45 naira. I have that video. If you want that video, I'll show it to you. I can send it to you. I have that video. I was analyzing the report and I didn't post it, just personal analysis. I was just doing the analysis and recorded it. 45 naira per share. Whoever bought it just a year after, we are talking 180, 190. That's how many 100%. So when they now come up with the dividend, you can't be at the same level dividend yield wise with the one who bought it a year ago. That's the way it works. So let's understand this. You are investing for the future. Please do well. Sammy says, Coach, what is a good price for Julius Berger? I'm sure some people were here when I mentioned Julius Berger the other time. Julius Berger will come out with a bang. It will almost be like no one saw it coming because the results are looking humongous. I said it before. I've said it before. Julius Berger, if you are able to see it at 250, that would be nice to accumulate. It's almost going on full offer now. 98,000 bids versus 597,000 offer. So at 270, you can buy Julius Berger. Lowest price you can sell for today is 269. Julius Berger's result is something else quietly. Even though I'm not very impressed with their efficiency level, they have not been able to manage their margins very well. That's my quarrel with Julius Berger. But even at that, Julius Berger is looking irresistible. I'll give you a few numbers here. Revenue is 759 billion. Net income is 29 billion. Earnings per share is 18 naira. 18 naira. So Julius Berger can comfortably come out and pay 10 or 15 naira. That 15 naira, Okomo declared final. Julius Berger can pay that. But don't mistake that for weakness on Okomo's part. Okomo has already declared 40 naira per share as interim. Okomo Oil declared 40 naira last year as interim dividend before declaring the 15 naira final. So Okomo paid 55 naira per share. Oh my, when Aradel will announce their dividend, that will be really, really rosy. Okay, good day, Coach. Please, what's your take on Ella Lakes, Dr. Newton? Ella Lakes is stay action. That's my take for me. But of course, everybody can realign their investments as they like. Okay? Ella Lakes, at the moment, it will only just dilly-dally. But you know what? I've explained this before. I am not one who is surprised that Ella Lakes did loss. Almost every business started by making losses first. It's just that they've prioritized that public offer too much and asked for too much at the same time. The easiest thing to do after that return of the public offer funds is to get back to the basics and grow this business organically. I've said it before. And if you must get injection of funds, there are so many ways that they can do it. Most other companies do it. You go and do private placement, right? Even Tantalizers, the entertainment arm of Tantalizers, Tantertainment, they did private placement and attracted 3 billion naira, gave out 10% stake, neat. So what they should do, concentrate on growing what they have. They acquired an existing oil palm business that has hectares planted and hectares uncultivated. So there are assets. That's why the profit and loss account for Ella Lakes is not looking wonderful because it's a new business. Now, but if you take a look at the balance sheet, you will see that there is hope for Ella Lakes because of the kind of assets that they have on ground. And of course, those assets, you know, real estate assets, talking about the farms, the land and all those things, they appreciate in value over time. So there is really something to sit down with to look for a good, patient investor who will come in and put in some money in terms of, by way of what you call private placement, and that will be it. And then they do a few things that they need to do, reduce debts and borrowings, and before you know it, things will look great. Then they can start paying dividends. And you start paying dividends, you start attracting investors. So for now, it's more like a 50-50 wait. And you have to wait long enough to see what they re-strategize, because they will re-strategize. That's one thing. They will re-strategize. Okay? So that's it for Ella Lakes. And whenever they bounce back, Of course, the market loves to trade that stock. We've seen how it's always been very liquid and traders have really enjoyed and milked that stock. We'll be back again. For me now, if Alex stays long enough under as a single digit stock long enough, and I see first quarter results and it's encouraging to an extent, or one news anyway, if a news comes up, price will jump again. That's one thing. If one major breakthrough news comes, oh, we found an international investor who is now pumping in 10 billion, price will jump again, you know. But they just need to put their acts together and do the right thing, stay the course, stay patient, and grow it organically. So that's my take on LLX. What would you advise to keep in anticipation for Dangote Zia? I'm not anticipating anything. Whenever the offer comes, let it come. But before it comes, I'll be doing something with the money I have to keep growing it. The reason why we are investors is because there's no room for any lazy money lying fallow. Never. I've said this thing last year, since when they said first quarter of 2026, that IPO will come out. Now we are in the second quarter. We've been told to take 5 to 8 months. So imagine you are waiting. You just lost the opportunity of investing in December and making a kill between January and February. So I'm not estimating when it comes out. We'll value the company and know whether how much we're putting in. And of course, because of the huge interest across the world, it will certainly be oversubscribed. And then they will now start allotting in bits and refunding people part of their monies. That's what will play out. The one I'm really looking out for, if I can be very frank with you, that Dangote fertilizer. Yes, that one nobody's interested in. That's the one I'm waiting for. Dangote fertilizer, you see that NNPC, those are the ones I'm waiting for. So doesn't mean I won't participate in Dangote's refinery though. We'll see how it goes when that time comes. Coach, Veritas Capital, Charms and Tantalizers are reducing drastically. They are affecting my portfolio. Ken Osas, if you were here, I taught every one of us how not to overweigh your portfolio with penny stocks. Get these things right. When there is a downturn in market trend, the pennies suffer the most. You have to prepare for it. And I told us when the pennies were rallying in January that a time will come they will hand over the baton to the big boys, because January, all of you were here, you saw how the penny stocks were rallying. Jais jumped from 5 naira to 15 naira. ROT Briscoe jumped from 4 naira or so to 17 naira. And then we also saw even Tantalizers jump from 3 naira to 6 naira plus. So, and I said it, that the big boys will take over in February when their numbers begin to come out. And those who traded small stocks or penny stocks, we're going to sell them and proceed to the big guns. And the big guns will take it off from there and keep rising. I shared all this with us. So hold on to your long-term penny stocks. I've held on to my UPDC REIT, for instance. I bought at 7 something. It rallied to 9 naira, then collapsed under 7 and stayed there for a while, 6 naira something for a while, before it's now trying to show up again to try to touch 8. These zigzag movements are normal, but over a long period, it won't be a zigzag, to be a straight trajectory upwards. All you need is patience. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in 4 minutes, we'll be taking your calls on TikTok. But before then, let's go on to YouTube and see what the comments there are. Coach, please, your thoughts on PZ. All right, I've responded to that. Morning, Coach. I'm a newbie. 1 million investing tip. Okay, I've responded to this. I'll wait for YouTube to update the comments. All right, there it goes again, running helter skelter, scrolling very fast. So I'm back on YouTube. If you have not copied and pasted your comments, please do, so I can really begin to sort you out before it's time to take your calls on TikTok. Don't forget, I told you something about breaking news that I need to share with us. It's not something to scare anybody. It's about me. So just keep listening. I'll share with you. And it is actually a testament of the good work we are doing here. Now that's the chair. Before I put you in suspense and make you wonder what it is, it's a commendation of what we are collectively doing here, educating the minds and investment acumen of fellow citizens across the world. Good day, my coach, Charms and Lighters or UPDC REIT, okay? Which should I get with 650K for long term? G Heights. I would go for UPDC REIT because that's the one that is almost running away. You can always come back for Charms and Tantalizers later. Coach, God bless you for us. I bought my first ever US stock, Duolingo. Oh, Daniel Peters, congratulations. As soon as I watched your previous video on it, please, any other US stock you would recommend, preferably a lower price. Now is not the time for lower price stocks. You see, when the market is down, it's not when to go for lower stock price stocks. It's when to go for the highest, the best companies that are quite expensive, but now cheaper. Okay, you buy those. When the market begins to recover, then you go look for lower stocks because lower stocks can wipe out your capital almost overnight. And of course, you know the US market is not even regulated in terms of price movement. You can lose 100% in one day. Just the same way you can gain 500% in one day. So next stock after Duolingo is Microsoft. I can tell you, Microsoft, fantastic business, great margin, but down because of the crisis in the Middle East. But you know what? That's one stock for the future. Never goes wrong. They spent a lot of money on CapEx, talking about AI installations and facilities, but the future is much more secure as far as this one is concerned. So Microsoft, $300 and something dollar per share, actually used to be $500 and something dollar per share. So you are buying at a very good discount if you go in on Microsoft. I was going to do a video about that next on my series of US stocks that I'm buying now. Maybe I should just share a little bit more insight regarding Microsoft and the numbers backing it. So I'll just do that now before we start taking your calls, because this session is usually also covering US markets as well. I've told us it's time to go back to the US market, and I have started myself. So Microsoft, there you go. 1 year just gained only 6%. Year to date, it's lost 23% since January. Now, the numbers are what attracts me the most. They have a revenue of 281 billion, and then net income 101 billion. That level of efficiency with that size of company, they generated 281 billion. Out of it, a whole 101 billion is net income. What a margin. If you ask me, fantastic margin. Earnings per share, $16 per share. 16. And they actually pay dividends. Okay? So, it really makes sense to add it to your portfolio. October last year alone, it was selling at $542 per share. And now it's at $372 per share. In any case, looks like they are hearing me right now. Microsoft in pre-market is up to $384 per share, having closed at $372. So $12 gained pre-market as we speak, before the market opens trading. $12 gained as we speak. Microsoft, you see? So this is just to update you. Remember, this live stream gives you real-time update of stocks in the US and Nigerian markets. That's why we're here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 1 p.m. Nigerian time. Time to take your calls on TikTok. Let's get set to take those calls right now as we make progress. I will still be taking your comments. And of course, let me also inform us. The good news is, all right, I'll hold on for that. And let's hear you. Hola Yinka. I think. Hola Yinka. Okay. Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're streaming from?
My name is Hola Yinka.
Okay, you got me confused a little bit with the hola. All right.
Yes, my name is Hola Yinka. Yeah, I'm happy to be on the platform. I'm so lucky to talk to you today.
Oh,
I've been trying
wonderful.
so hard to reach you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming on. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from UK.
Excellent, Hola Yinka. Go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, please, I want to be private. I would like to book a one-on-one session with you, and I want to know how to go about it, so I don't want to talk on.
Okay, just send a DM on Instagram. They'll forward a link to you so you can be booked for a session.
It's okay. So I should be expecting the link, right?
Yes, after you make a request on Instagram, please.
It's okay, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yinka. Okay, next caller. That was very quick, very prompt, and we proceed. I wish it can just be this smooth. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Loud and clear. Go ahead. Your name and where you're streaming from?
Okay, so if you can hear me, first of all, thank you for all you do. So I have something I'm trying to work with. I'd like to know, I have Zenith Bank and I've made over 70% in, over 40% in profit rather. And I would like to know if I could take that profit or I should just wait for when dividend is paid, or I should just take the profit and then invest into PZ.
Why did you invest in Zenith? Did you have, what was your strategy long term?
I would like to invest in the long term, but I don't have a lot of units for that sake, so I just thought it wise to maybe go into PZ. My average entry point is around 75 on PZ.
Okay, fair enough. You've given a very valid reason. Since the quantity of Zenith is not that much, you are happy to sacrifice it for PZ. Not a bad move.
Okay, all right. And do you advise that I wait for when I get my dividend to buy it?
Oh yes, you can actually take your dividends before you proceed. But again, PZ will not be waiting.
Okay.
So you make the decision final. Yeah.
Alright, cool. Thank you. That's all I wanted to find out.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, while we are still talking, let me give you the surprise. Surprise, surprise. I have been nominated by the Iconic International Limited for the 100 Iconic Africa Personalities of the Year 2026. If you're on YouTube, watch very closely as I share my screen so you can get to see exactly okay, looks like I can't share the screen now. Okay, I thought I could share the screen, but there you are. I'll just read the letter, nomination notification letter for 100 Iconic Africa Personalities Omiete Kotaria, founder, Net Worth Investors Club. Ladies and gentlemen, we are being heard across the world. The prestigious 100 African Iconic Personalities of the Year Award is a premier annual recognition program that celebrates outstanding African leaders, innovators, and change makers who have made significant contributions to the growth and development of the African continent. Okay? The mission of the prestigious 100 African Iconic Personalities of the Year Award is to recognize and celebrate African excellence, promote leadership and innovation, and inspire future generations of African leaders to strive for greatness. This year, we are proud to convene under the powerful and timely theme, The Africa We Want, accelerating excellence for a self-reliant continent. Blah, 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 blah. So many, very long story. Long and short, ladies and gentlemen, this program starts tomorrow, so I'll be off to Lagos. And then the award is on Friday. And then City Tour Saturday. And then I'll be off back to Port Harcourt. So ladies and gentlemen, we are being recognized. 100 Iconic Personalities of the Year, Africa. Okay? That's the good news I have for you. Congratulations, everybody who has been a part of this. You made it happen. I don't know them. I just got a mail and then was informed I have to be there. The venue of the award is the Oriental Hotel Lagos. Oriental Hotel. Ikem Benzoic, next caller.
Congratulations, Coach.
Morning, man. Good to have you.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I would have loved to go with you.
You see that? Unfortunately, you are in Norway. There's too much cold there right now.
Very happy congratulations, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Sir, and even more.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Coach, I have just two questions, okay? I've been thinking about, because doing a million challenge on three stocks, but I just want to concentrate on one, but I don't know how to go about it, so we can talk about it. Like, I'm thinking about doing a million challenge on Dangote Sugar. I have 150,000 units already, so I am thinking now that they are doing
Rights issue.
Yes, how do I go about it? So, and another thing that is a drawback is, Dangote Sugar doesn't pay dividends. So if I can commit up to maybe 70 million naira on the stock without dividend yet, I don't know how you think. Then I'm also thinking about Wema Bank. Maybe if I do Wema, then I will leave Dangote Sugar. I have also 500,000 units of CWG, and I don't know if I should complete it. Then if I do those ones, then I will leave Dangote Sugar. But my heart is telling me Dangote Sugar, because if this stocks returns back to profitability, they will go very high, and of course it's fast-moving consumer goods. So I don't know what you think on that. What should I do?
Honestly, I want to align with the Dangote Sugar for obvious reasons. That stock has remained low. It used to be the same price with NASCON, its sister company. For those who don't know, NASCON is National Salt Company of Nigeria. They are the producers of Dangote salt. But NASCON has somehow managed their books so well, maybe because of the peculiarity of the business they do, unlike sugar. But the owners of the company, the Dangote Group itself, rates the sugar refinery higher than NASCON. How do I know? When they wanted to merge the three food business arms in the Dangote Group into one, the allotment they made showed that they rated Dangote Sugar higher than NASCON. But now check the price. Remember, they were all doing the same price. And like I said, I have been unconsciously doing the 1 million challenge on my own long ago. as my personal strategy before it occurred to me. People are following you. Share this idea with them. And that was how last year, early last year, I started encouraging us to do 1 million share challenge. NASCON and Dangote Sugar, I bought 1 million shares each as well. Years back, including the Transcorp I spoke about and so many others. And you know what? They have grown to what they are. There are still prospects. Now, what makes Dangote Sugar more appealing to do a quick run is because it's more like the bad days have kept it down, but the market does not realize the bad days are as good as over, going by what their final result was also. Plus, the new sugar refinery commissioned in Ghana last year. So things will begin to take shape. And if you are able to get in at this 60, remember the market even valued it at 80 something naira already before it pulled back to the 60 something. So it could be a fast way to make quick run, especially with such a volume. And this is how you make money. Where others are running away from, you have reasons to pitch your tent. If the turnaround completes, Dangote is very good at dividend distribution. He could just start with 1 or 2 naira per share, then it goes on and starts building up. So if you are staying long in this market, nothing to worry about. I don't see Dangote Sugar dropping below where it is now if there is no major market crash. That's my take.
Okay, so how do I do it? How do I do the 1 million? Is it, because right now I have 150,000 units. Do I buy 350 from the market now or wait later? Or I don't know how they will allocate the right issue. So this is my problem right now.
Don't make it your problem. What you should do is be strategic in your approach. Apply for more than your rights. Take advantage of whatever the discount price the right to be issued and apply for much more than your rights.
Okay.
You are most likely going to be allotted. After the allotment, you can now decide to make up the 1 million or buy more on the floor pending allotment dates, because sometimes the allotment can drag so long. First or second quarter result comes out and looks good and drives the price up, so you don't wait. The fact is, current price is good bargain. Whatever the rights issue price will be, will also be a good bargain. So buy as much as possible.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Then the second question is, IMPP in the US stock market has not been doing so well. What do you think? Because I'm thinking of if I should sell and buy that real estate investment trust, or do I leave it there? I don't know. Because I hardly open my US stock portfolio.
Actually, IMPP, how much is it now?
I think it's around 4 naira or something.
$4, sir. It's no naira, sir.
It's been there for a very long time.
Okay, I think.
And I was thinking that IMPP would do well since this Iran thing, since it's a petroleum company or something.
Yeah, you know they are into petroleum transportation.
Okay.
So when the Strait of Hormuz is closed down, there's a problem. But you know what? Why not wait? Because there has been a ceasefire agreement, and that could see it rise a bit. Because when, in their case now, when transportation is halted or hampered, there's a problem.
Okay. So I should wait.
So pending deals will now begin to sail through based on this ceasefire agreement.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. That will be all for now. And one once again, congratulations.
Thank you very much. You all made it happen. Appreciate you. Okay, let's go there. Next caller. Odibeze Kitchen. Please, coach, analyze Uninsure. Uninsure has always been a good stock for the price it goes for. At all times, I've always mentioned that. Amongst all stocks, insurance companies under 2 naira, Uninsure is my best take, if you ask me. Oh, wow. Veritas is down to 198. Or up from 195. I never knew it dropped to 190. 198. Okay, so Uninsure is on full bid right now. 28 million bids, 0 offers. Okay, while we're waiting to connect with Odibeze Kitchen, let's see if we can connect with Fabulous. Hello, good afternoon. Fabulous, where are you streaming from?
United Kingdom.
Nice to hear from you. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, and congratulations on what you just announced now.
Yeah, we're making history. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Please, the reason why I decided to speak to you this afternoon is about this analytics. I know you did explain about the analytics, so I was trying to compare it with Zitish. So, because for me, I don't want to miss the Presco and the Kumu. I don't want to miss it again. I want to make sure because my calculation is maybe I can get it on LLX as well. So, because I've pumped a lot on the LLX. You get my point? So, I've pumped a lot on it. So, because I missed that Presco run of me. That's why I found I had Presco, but I wasn't satisfied with the quantity I had because it became too expensive. So I said, okay, like you always say, when you catch them early enough, you will benefit from them as well. So I was not doing that. I'm doing the comparison between Zitish and LLX. If I'm to offload some of the LLX and going to Zitish, I don't know, because I can see the hype that comes from that Zitish. I don't trust it. So that's why, because I don't have any of it as well. I've not gone into that as well. So what would be your advice?
For me, the kind of manipulation that went on with Zitches, I can't trust it.
Okay.
I'd rather sit in my LLX and wait the cost. The truth is, I remember when Presco was doing public offer, 5 naira per share. They were in the newspapers and all that. Nobody saw it coming. This thing takes time. So if you have decided to put money somewhere, just leave it and continue with other things you are doing and watch how this thing develops. If Ella Lakes didn't die many years ago, it's not now it will die. It just needs time. Like I said, I'm sure the management will go back, have a rethink, and stay calm and work out something.
Okay. And again, the second question is about this Dangote IPO or something. Because for me, I'm not really a fan of IPOs. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say, because due to sometimes when you go into the IPOs, at the end of the day, when they are doing their lot, they will put back your money. Then sometimes you don't get what you requested for. They start giving you some and they will refund the money back, and sometimes you'll be going after them for them to return the money. You get my point? So that's the reason I don't really go for that. I don't really stress myself when it comes to IPO. I prefer buying on the floor market or whatever. So on that aspect, what do you think it will be? Which will you advise? Go for the market when it becomes available on the market, or still go with the IPO? What would be your advice on that?
Go for the two, but don't stress.
Oh, okay.
There has been too much hype, and it's not really okay. You know, when people are uninformed and something just comes their way, repeatedly all over the place, it catches some level of fire. The truth is, Dangote refinery will do the IPO, it will come to the market, we will see how it goes. If it's very good, fine. There is Presco, there is Aradel, there is Seplat, they are all here. Bring on Dangote refinery and let's assess it and buy if we have to, or wait if we have to, whatever it is. When the offer comes out, buy with what you can raise. If you are allotted, good, because it's almost like the kind of awareness that's been created, it may be oversubscribed. And so some people may not get exactly the quantity, especially those who are going to be applying for a whole lot of this particular stock. If that happens, they will manage to spread it around. And then afterwards, it will come on the floor. Wherever it gets to on the floor, whoever is unsatisfied with the allotment they got from public offer, you go ahead and buy. There are too many stocks giving people money in the stock market. We shouldn't get distracted with a company that has not yet listed. Now, if a newbie is getting distracted, you understand that. But we've been here, people are making money. If they list Dangote refinery now, will it make 100% overnight? No. But there are stocks that have done 100% between January and now. So let's focus on where the money is practically happening for now. When Dangote gets listed, we see how it does. And not fall for this so much hype all over the place. There's no need for that.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay then. Yeah.
All right. So enlighten investors. Don't do as if you are a social media investor. Don't go and catch social media fire of Dangote refinery that you don't even know the valuation of the company. And then you start running around, go to NGX, go and register here, you have a stock brokerage account already. What are you going to NGX to register for? Too much copy and paste. When there is lack of knowledge, that's what you get. Too much copy and paste. Even if you don't have a brokerage account, you don't register in NGX, when the offer comes, you walk into any of the issuing houses, even banks, because usually they eventually end up giving banks to also sell the forms for subscribers, or issue the forms, not sell. So anywhere you go, you subscribe, you pay your money, you will be allotted. So there's no need for the panic, please. You know better now. Let's make the money that is before us while Dangote is tidying up his listing procedures. Okay? All right, before we go on to the next caller, let's take a comment from Josh Adelton. Coach, please, what's your take on Access and FCMB? Two very disappointing stocks in their cadre. It's just a matter of let's see what they do this last time as far as dividend declaration is concerned. Because if they continue to disappoint their investors, then the market will dump. Hi coach, I have 1 million naira to top up. I already have corn oil 50k, Q6 100k, Dancement 1810 units. Wow, this information is too much. Messi, Anthony. I have 1 million. I already have corn oil, Q6, Dancement, Dang Sugar, FCMB, Fidelity, NGX, NIDF, Okomo, TIP, and UBA. You want to top up, go and top up. That's UBA there. UBA, and you are overspreading on these weak banks. Talking about FCMB. UBA, top up UBA and TIP. That's it. Okay, Maobi is on the line. Let's see. It's been a while we heard from him. His account was blocked on TikTok or banned, but he's back. Hello, Maobi. Happy Easter in arrears. Welcome back from your vacation. First vacation.
Yeah, hello, coach. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to everybody listening. Happy Easter in arrears. Like you said, I'm very glad to be here.
Thank you very much, Maobi. This is your assured voice. We have missed it. Do you have anything else to tell us?
What do I have to add more than what you have already said? First of all, I would like to congratulate you for the upcoming award, even though I know that you have not technically won it. But we know that from the work that you have, put into this club, put into humanity. That award is very, very deserving of you. And to every other person watching or listening for the first time, I would like to say welcome on board. Jump on the train, make informed decisions, and you will be very happy that you did. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much, Malby. You will stay on so you can be able to anchor with me. Hi, Coach. What would you advise one to buy, Ardell or Seplat? I'm reading that there is some gas expansion possibilities for Seplat in the future. Well, every other company, anyway, now you are comparing Ardell and Seplat. Even Ardell has all sorts of prospects going by the two acquisitions they made last year. That's part of the reasons why Ardell's report is being delayed, because they want to integrate the ND Western acquisition to their report and really give us a clear picture of what the financials are going forward. So there are prospects here and there, but I can tell you, if I were in your shoes, in this case between Ardell and Seplat, I would just settle for Ardell, because in my mind, Seplat has done enough, and I may not grow my capital there as much as I would have in Ardell. In any case, Seplat still very fantastic investment. They will continue to pay out fantastic dividend, and I think they promise to pay out about $1 billion in the next 5 years in the form of dividends to shareholders. So very committed to continually paying dividends. But beyond the dividends, I would rather go for capital growth in terms of for Ardell. Okay. All right. Oluwa Fair. Your name is not complete, but I'm sure. Could it be Oluwa Feromi? Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Maybe a mistaken call, so we proceed to the next caller. Mr. Brilla. Please, Coach, what's the best entry price for Beta Glass? Okay. Let's check and see. So, ladies and gentlemen, as a result of that award, there will be no live stream on Friday because I'll be busy at the event on Friday. Hello. Good afternoon, sir. Mr. Brilla, are you there? Could be a mistaken call, so we'll proceed. Mr. Ben, next caller. Trying to check now what the situation with Beta Glass is. Just give me a moment.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name and where you're streaming from?
My name is Mr. Ben, calling from Bauchi.
Mr. Ben from Bauchi, we're glad to have you. Go ahead.
Coach, I'm in the midst of something. I'm trying to buy GTCO, Zenith Bank. So for a short term, I don't really know which one I'm going to buy. So I don't know if you recommend which one I'm going to buy for short term.
You are too late for short term. Those stocks will not stay, will not keep rising. They've risen a whole lot all the way from January till date.
Okay, so I shouldn't buy any of them at the moment.
When you say short term, that's where the problem is.
So let's say 2 months.
No, it won't work. And you're looking for capital gains, it won't work. They've almost run a full course, and that means you could buy and then it starts dipping and you lose your money in 2 months.
All right, so thank you very much. That's the only question I want to ask at the moment.
All right, thank you very much. If he was buying long term, at least he will benefit the dividend, and if it dips, he will stay long enough for it to recover, but not short term because it's late already. That's my take. Anyways, so I'm going to go for Zuben and then Lily Worms. Hello, Zuben. Hello.
Coach, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good to hear from you. Your name and where you're streaming from.
My name is Lillian. I'm calling from Lagos.
Lillian from Lagos. Good to have you. Please proceed.
Coach, Happy New Year and congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you too.
Okay, Coach, I don't know if you can still remember when I called, I think late November last year.
Remind me.
Asking for recommendations of shares to buy, and you gave me recommendation of PZ, Tantalizer, and FTM Cocoa.
Give me the full gist.
Okay, yeah, I was able to buy PZ at my entry price, I think it was 39 naira 62 kobo. Then
Wow.
my Tantalizer, 2 naira 36 kobo.
2 naira 36.
4 naira 83 kobo.
You don't mean it.
You remembered? Yes.
You obeyed,
So,
and now you are laughing.
right now,
Jesus.
I did. Hello, Coach. What did you say?
I said you obeyed, and right now you are laughing. My goodness.
Yes, I am actually. So right now, Coach, I have 2 million naira to invest, which was I got it from because I usually do treasury bill, but since I got to know you last year, I stopped. So this one matured. I collected my money since I think ending of February or so. So I want to buy stock with it right now, but I don't know if I should top up on the one I have before, or I should get something else. I am investing for long term. 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. I'm not touching any of these shares.
Okay. Let's see. You said 2 million.
Yes, Coach.
Buy Vitafoam.
Vitafoam. Okay. Vitafoam. Okay, sir.
Now,
Is there what price should I be looking at?
anything under 107. Let me check how much Vitafoam is now. Vitafoam is 108 at the moment. So 106. The offers are less than the bids as well. I mean, the bids are less than the offers, so there's no rush.
Okay, I should take my time and see if I can.
Take your time, sleep and wake up, go and do exercise, come back. Just take your time.
Okay, Coach. Thank you very much. All my portfolio is in. So I remember when I called and I said I got tip then at 3 naira.
3 naira.
3 naira 83 kobo.
You see that?
And I got also then USCN at 29 naira.
29.
54 kobo. They are doing so well. So
100 and something naira. Can you see? Congratulations, Lillian. I just hope that others are learning from what you are saying now, because this is what it's about. She has the correct mindset. Take time, buy, relax. No pressure, no nothing. Come back smiling. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Have a blessed day ahead.
And you too. Please get the correct mind. Stop being afraid. Oh, this one is dipping, that one is dipping. There are times after she bought, they dipped, for your information. But just give this thing time. We are not playing here. We're not doing guesswork. She bought tip, how much? 3 naira something? That means she bought around January last year. This same tip that we are paying 20 naira for, and we have not started yet. Life, no, it's not makeup. As she has come now, taking this information, she'll just go and execute. She's the one reminding me what I said. I can't remember because I talk to many of you every time. Last year it was daily. But she remembers the instruction, went, executed, and look at it. Everything she mentioned, she's on green. Will this person ever worry about, oh, market is deep in marketing? Relax, guys. All right. It's good that people are calling in to share their experience, so it can help us to know. You are not. It's not guesswork. Listen, that you are investing digitally in stocks does not mean it is an intangible asset like Forex. This is not Forex. Hello. When you invest in the stock market, you are not investing in Forex, please. Okay? Keep your environments quiet. Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're streaming from. Please speak up. You're speaking from Ogun State. Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from. Hello, we can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead. MC Warren Pekin. Pinky.
I'm speaking from Delta State.
Vera from Delta. Thank you for joining. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Proceed.
Good afternoon, sir.
Go ahead, I can hear you.
Yes. Okay. I have a question, sir. Yes. I want to ask, can Nigeria invest on US ETF?
Yes, you can, using an app.
Okay. No, I already have the app, but how to go about it? That is the issue.
What app?
I have a Bamboo app.
If you have the app, start playing around the app. Google search how to use Bamboo app. Google search how to use Bamboo and see how it goes. You will see how to navigate the app. I don't use Bamboo, so I can't advise further. Mr. Wisdom, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You are not loud and clear. Could you take out whatever earpiece you are using so we can hear you clearly? It's not better. So someone was asking for beta glass. You can bid 455 for beta glass, even though somebody has gone and bought at 504, but it's just five units. So 455 for beta glass. Aradel, just hold on, please. Aradel is now 1,199. So that's possible also, 1,199. All right, go ahead, Wisdom. Where are you streaming from?
Yeah, I'm streaming from United Kingdom.
All right, Wisdom from the UK. Proceed.
Is that 300K? I want to ask, which stock do you think I can invest in?
What is your investment horizon?
I have different stock.
Long term or short term? I think we need to develop the ability to decide what we want to buy. Unless you are a newbie, you should follow the discussions going on and buy whatever you need to buy, so that it's not one size fits all. Looks like we have lost him there.
I'll sum in my portfolio. That's what I'm saying. Can you hear me?
What are you investing for? Long term or short term or what? What
Long
are
term,
you?
long term.
Buy tip.
Tip.
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking of buying anything before. Corn oil or this other one that you mentioned. PZ.
Just buy tip, sir. The volume of cash is also a factor in deciding what to buy.
All right. Thank you.
All right. If only I know how to differentiate between real-time callers and mistaken calls. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Coach.
Tell us your name and where you're streaming from. Oh, interesting. Yes, loud and clear. Your name and where you're streaming from?
So my name is Andrea. I'm streaming from Canada.
Andrea from Canada. We're glad to have
Yes.
you. Go on.
Thank you, and congratulations on your nomination. It's well deserved. You're one of the people that finally made me go into buying your stock. I've been procrastinating for over a year. So I started buying this February, but I feel like if I started getting your stream every day, I feel like I kind of got it a little bit wrong because I was like buying a lot of, I have like 5 portfolio, but I don't think some of them are the right choice. But I'm investing for long term. I'm looking at 5-10 years, so I don't mind waiting, and I'm not looking at touching the money. So that's not my problem. But over time, I had you talking about when you have penny stocks, you should also have strong defenders on your portfolio. I don't know if that applies to people that are investing for like the long term, the picture I'm looking at, because I don't think I have any strong defender really.
You are muted if you can hear me. Perhaps you did that mistakenly.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
So I would say I don't think I have any strong defender on my portfolio. What I have is I have TIP. I have TIP. I bought Charms for the 1 million shares. I'm not yet up to 1 million though, because like I said earlier, I was buying a lot of them and I felt like I shouldn't have done that. I bought Transcorp. I bought Bo Cement, but I didn't buy so much. I bought Bo Cement at 200, but I bought like only 250 units. So I'm regretting that now because it's like over 300 and something naira right now. So I have like 2 million. I'm looking at, should I top up or should I sell off some and just or buy a strong defender that will defend the portfolio? That's where I'm at right now.
Okay, there's time for everything. At the moment, you've already stated clearly you are buying long term, so you don't need to sell off what you already have. Best step to take now is to buy some defensive names to add to what you have.
Okay, good.
And
so is there
2 million.
Sorry.
2 million. You should put that 2 million in a stock like Vitafoam and Dangote Sugar.
Okay. Sorry, Coach. I bought Dangote Sugar, but I bought when it was like 70 naira. I don't know if.
Is it substantial?
So I have over, I think, 100,000 units with it.
Okay. Leave Dangote Sugar. Proceed with PZ.
Okay. Okay, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You're really doing a great job. God
Thank
bless.
you. God bless you too. Okay, next caller, Pelmoda. And then the next, Abukia. Whichever connects, because there are some unidentified mistaken calls that TikTok is bringing up. Keep your comments coming in. I'm not done yet responding while we are still making the calls. Hello, Cassie. Are you here or out? All right, we'll let Cassie go. Pelmoda, next caller. Can you unmute and let's talk?
Good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're streaming from?
Thank you very much for your advice so far. I'm speaking from Lagos. I called a few months back, I think in February, that I used to buy mutual funds and money market funds and CBOs, and I was trying to see if I could just switch into stock. So he told me to buy NIDF that for stability, and I mentioned that I wanted to buy Q6, but you said I shouldn't, that it's not good to start with penny stocks. So far, I have NIDF about 2,000 units. I have UBA about 10,000 units. I have what's this other one? Let me check again. I have UBA, I have NIDF, and I have I bought Q6 too. I bought like 100,000 units, and then I have UPDC rates. I bought about 400,000 votes. So right now I have like 200,000 that I just want to put into something like solutions for growth. So I'm thinking of increasing UBA since they are still around 45, 46 naira. But I'm also now in between UBA or UPDC rates, because the rates, you said they give like regular dividends, they are commissioned to spread most of their earnings, and I'm looking into income generation as much as I'm looking at capitalization. So I don't know which would advise that I should.
At this point, I think UPDC rate sounds more like it. How much again do you have to deploy now?
Okay, for UPDC rates, I have 59,000 units.
You can still buy more. You can raise it up to 100,000.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we continue as we progress. Hello, good afternoon. Oluwaseyi, are you there?
Good afternoon, Coach.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the job well done. I joined the platform about 2-3 months ago, and I'm always looking forward to it. Well done, sir. I want to discuss my portfolio with you. I'm not sure if I have a WhatsApp number that I can reach out to you. My portfolio is about 170 million. I want to show you what I have there, and we can discuss it.
You want to do portfolio rebalancing? Send a request on Instagram. We would have to do a 1-hour quick strategy session for that.
Okay. I will find you on Instagram, because I don't want to join you here, but I'll follow for you on Instagram.
Okay, the easiest way, so you don't pick a wrong account. There's a link on my bio. Click on that link tree. You see the Instagram icon. Click on the Instagram icon, takes you straight there.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
Well done, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Coach, please, your top two between Beta Glass, WAPCO, and Presco. Wow, this is tough, but very easily Presco and Bitter Glass Street. Hello, coach. I'm new to stocks and shares. Where do you advise I start from? Frankie T. Hello, Maubi. If you are there, can you respond to Frankie T? He says he's new to stocks. Where can he start from?
Yeah, hello, coach, and hello to Frankie T. Okay, where can you start from? Basically, you can start from learning the basics. And when I say the basics, I mean understanding how the market works. I mean understanding what you need to do at what point. And this point basically confuses a lot of people, especially the newbies, because they think that, okay, when we talk about understanding the market, you need to go and take an encyclopedia and read to understand how the market works. No, this is not what we need. What we are asking you to do is to do a little bit of research. What we are asking you to do is to follow this live session like we have almost every week. What we are asking you to do is to join a very solid support group like the Network Investors Club, where you can get support and information on the go. Okay, so that's the first step for you to come on board in your stock investment journey. Now, the second step will entail you deciding your investment vehicle. By investment vehicle, I mean which stockbroker are you going to use to buy, sell, or hold your stocks? Now, mind you that you cannot walk into the market and just, buy or deal directly. So you need that investment vehicle to serve as a bridge for you to invest in the market. For this purpose, I will personally recommend a stockbroker that I have been using. I have used others before, and that I have found very useful for me in my job. And that broker will be Atlas Portfolios. With Atlas, you get real-time transmission of data. You get reasonable charges in the market, and you also get a reasonable support when you run into one or two problems. Again, we are not in a position to say that Atlas is the best in the market when it comes to brokers, but it's my recommendation based on what I have used and based on what other people in the market has also used. Now, after that second stage, you have to take a very critical decision of deciding which stock to invest in. There are hundreds of stocks listed in the NGX, and believe me, before the end of the year, we will have much more also listed on the NGX. But you have to go into the market, you have to set your investment goal, you have to decide if you're investing in the long term or in the short term, and pick the stocks that aligns to that particular goal. Now, for me as Mr. Maudi, my investment goal might be totally different from yours, right? So this is why everybody's investment goal is very, very peculiar. Once you decide, identify the stock, then do not procrastinate. This is where it becomes dicey. You making money in the market and you not making money in the market. The difference is taking the right decision at the right time. You might find a stock selling at a reasonable price, and you might decide to overbargain. In the process of overbargaining, you might lose an opportunity. As against someone who will find a stock in the market and know that, wow, this stock packs a lot of value, right? And I'll give you one clear example right now. We are all looking at UPA now, selling below 50. We are all looking at PZ, selling below 50. 50 or
80.
70, right? We are all looking at a speculative stock like Tantalizers and Charms selling below 5 naira. These are all opportunities that when you see, procrastination becomes your enemy and instant action becomes your friend. So when you take these 3 steps, right, and when you join a very solid support group of like-minded investors in Network Investors Club, then you can be sure that you're already on your way to being successful in the market. Now, the before I end, I'd like to tell everybody listening, joining the support group is free. Nobody will ask you to bring your money to invest on your behalf. Nobody will ask you to bring your money for you to download one shady app or the other. Nobody will do any of these 3 things, 2 things. So join the group free of charge, ask your questions, and you can be sure that you're ready on your way to your journey. I hope I've done justice to that, coach.
Very well, thank you so much, Malby. I'm sure beyond the one who asked that question, so many others who just joined must have learned a whole lot from this. Appreciate you there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We proceed with taking more comments. Coach, you posted something yesterday about federal government savings bond. Can you shed more light on it? FGN savings bond for April is out. It was actually instituted for the first time by the Buhari government when they wanted to encourage civil servants and low-income earners to also participate in investing in bonds. That's where the FGN savings bond, before it, there has always been the long-term bonds, Sukuk bond and all that has tenors of 10, 15, 20, 25 years. For the savings bond, it comes in 2 phases, 2-year and 3-year tenors, and you decide which one to go for. Unfortunately, rates are dropping. I can see that for the 2-year tenor, it's 13%. The 3-year tenor is 14% plus. So you subscribe, and the interest is paid every quarter. So every 3 months, you get paid part of the 14 or 13% due you for the year. So that in one full year, you receive 4 times. After that, the tenor elapses 3 years after, your capital returns to you. That's the way bonds work. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 more minutes, but I feel that we should take one more caller here. So let's see who gets that nod. Last caller. Something like skincare, something. So ladies and gentlemen, while we're waiting to connect with the caller, there will be no live stream on Friday because I'll be in Lagos in Oriental Hotel to take that award on our behalf. We must go and win it. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Your name and where you're streaming from?
My name is Priya. I'm streaming from Abuja.
Priya from Abuja. It's good to hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, please. I just started investing not so long ago, and I have 3 companies in my portfolio. I have the Zenith Bank, I have CWG, and Chance. So I want to know if I want to top up. I don't know if it's a good thing to top up on what I already have, or should I try new?
What's the value of the portfolio right now?
Not so much. For Zenith Bank, I have about 4,600 units. For CWG, I have about 30,000 units. And Charms, I was just playing around with Charms, so I bought like 18,000 units. So I don't know. Do you advise I top up on what I already have?
Top up on what you already have.
Which one in particular, please?
Do you have tip?
No.
How much are you looking to deploy now?
Maybe about 500,000.
Just go and buy tip.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget, if you are, oh my goodness, GTCO, 130 naira per share. Come on now, a lot is going on. In any case, please, today is the last live stream because I have to go and take that award on your behalf. We are going to win it all, whether they like it or not. But the good thing is that we're being recognized for doing something good, and we're impacting society positively. If you are not subscribed yet on the YouTube channel, I'll advise you to do so. I'm trying to find a way to capture some of those moments I will share on YouTube and of course in the group. If you want to join us, Network Investors Club, we're on Discord app. We're working to see that beyond being an online community, we are a force physically present to reckon with. Details will be shared with us as time goes on. The structure is still being prepared at the leadership level of your club. This global live stream continues next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as always. Why? Because we have a whole lot of us spread across the world. And so we're investing back home so we can retire early from our labor. Apologies to everyone whose comment I may not have taken because of time, or calls I might not have been able to take as well. But you know what? Let's do it again and keep working. For those in US and Canada and those that work across the world, including in Nigeria, this live stream is available already as we shut down today on the YouTube channel. Go back, enjoy every moment and every analysis there, and make up your mind on what next to do. Thank you very much. And on this note, I will say bye-bye to all. Love you all. I'm going to represent the club, and we will keep winning from here on. See you again on Monday. Until then, bye for now.